So today we're going to talk about the characteristics of light and the intro and the beginning of optics. Now, there are three main characteristics of light: reflection, refraction, diffraction. Now, the basic definition of reflection is an object causing light to bounce off. An example of that would be a mirror. A mirror reflects light. Now, there's a law that reflection follows, and it's called the law of reflection. And the definition of that is that the angle of incidence is equal to the angle of reflection. Now, an example or kind of like a picture of that would be, so if you have a mirror here, your angle of incidence comes into here, and it reflects off to here. Now, your angle of incidence right here will equal your angle of reflection. And there is something called the normal, which separates the two. So the angle of your normal to your incidence is equal to your normal to your reflection. And I'll give more examples of that in a video. Now, your refraction is the change of speed of light, and that causes it to bend towards it. For example, if you have a tub of water and light travels through air, and once it hits the water, it will slow down and the light will bend away from you. Now, if it speeds up, it will bend towards you. And we'll give an example of that so you can better understand. Now, there is diffraction. Diffraction, and the basic definition of that is where an object causes light to bend and go around it, and that would be like an opening or a crack in a door. For when we have a night light, that would be not maybe, but that would be diffraction. And we'll give an example of that. Now, there are three mirrors for optics that causes these characteristics of light, and one of those is a plane mirror, and that's just flat, your basic mirror that you use for taking selfies on. So an optic, there are three mirrors, and you have two lenses. But we'll first start off with mirrors. Your first mirror is a plane mirror, which is a plain flat mirror, like so. Sorry, it's coming back. I used it for an example. Now, there is a concave mirror, which is curved away towards the other. And concave mirrors converges light. They make the objects within their mirrors bigger. And they also produce a real image, which is right side up, and those can be projected. Now, a convex mirror diverges light, produces a virtual image which cannot be projected, and it makes things look small. Now, your lenses are basically the same thing, but they're opposites of each other. So we have two types of lenses: concave and convex. So here's your mirrors. Now, your convex lenses will make objects look bigger, produce a real image which can be projected, and it converges light. Now, a concave lens basically diverges light, produces a virtual image that cannot be projected, and it makes things look smaller. And I'll give us some examples since I do not own concave or convex mirrors and lenses. I'll give some pictures and examples of those within the video so you guys can better understand the subject.